Yo, that was a really fucking good game for a Thursday night. What should have been a snooze fest between the Giants and the Washington football team. But here I am to talk about it because it was pretty exciting, if you will. I'm still recording through the jail cell, free me. But let's get on to the notes because a brother was out here researching. This is supposed to be this is supposed to be with the homie Stickman, but homeboy fell asleep. And I don't blame him. But he left a couple notes. He believes that the Daniel Jones design runs are something that is going to stay, and so get used to that because they were very successful. And if that's the case, Daniel Jones becomes more viable every single week. And shout out me here. Actually, I'm gonna pull it up because I'm a fucking beast at YouTube. Shout out me because Daniel Jones. I kind of have a video with like talking about him. I don't even know what it's called. Daniel Jones, maybe. No, this is the random search bar. Let's go over here. Actually, let's go to here. This video still stands. You can't see where I'm pointing. I don't know I'm doing this right now. But this video still stands. He's an incredible streamer, late round option, 2 QB super flex, even 1 QB if you're desperate. This guy has legs. He throws deep. He has weapons. He's turnover prone, sure, but like if you want upside and a guy at your QB2 slot or on a good matchup on your QB1 slot for a streamer, Daniel Jones is that guy. He always has been, always will be. He has legs, upside. I mean, come on, he's great. But besides Daniel Jones, his receivers are very, very, very interesting. Kenny Galladay catches just 3 balls, has about 6 points on 8 targets. So pretty inefficient there. Darius Slayton has the big play and scores, so he puts together a decent game. But once again, it was Sterling Shepard that was the star of the show, having the monster game, having the monster wide receiver performance. He has 10 targets. He was very efficient with 9 catches. The thing with Sterling Shepard is, do you want to play him ever? I mean, he was the possession receiver. He was very efficient. He got the 3rd and 7 target with 2 minutes left. He was clearly their go-to option this game when Kenny Galladay was getting locked up. But I mean, like going forward, it's just hard to see who it's going to be because if Slayton is getting these big plays, am I recording? I hope I'm recording. There we go. If Slayton is getting these big plays, wait, what am I doing? I don't know over here. Listen to this album. This is incredible, just incredible. But if Slayton is getting these big plays weekly, and I mean, like we know what Galladay is capable of. I still think he's the receiver to own season long. But I mean, at this point, it's a toss up between him and Shepard because I mean Shepard's playing well, very efficient. It's not just is it sustainable? No, but I mean at this point Shepard is the guy to own. But it's hard to start any of them weekly. I guess you can flex Shepard until further notice. But I mean, I don't really want to start Galladay, even though I'm a big fan of his. I mean, if you're desperate, like in a flex, you could do worse. A wide receiver 3, but Slayton, not much interest in him. On to Saquon Barkley, he did not look good at all. And as someone who is pounding the table for Saquon as a mid first round pick, even early first round pick at times, this is kind of concerning. His pass catching work wasn't there, which was what makes Saquon. I mean, he's always been a boom bust runner. He gets stuffed a lot, but he breaks up big plays. But I mean, if his pass catching isn't there, it's going to be really rough. You're obviously like starting him because he was on the field a bunch. The game script wasn't exactly favorable. I mean, it was a close game, but I mean, it wasn't like they were behind where he could get a bunch of pass catching work or ahead where he could get running. He was just kind of like in the middle ground. But he didn't look good. He's still a must start, obviously, but I would temper expectations until further notice. If we start seeing Saquon get more targets, I'll put him back in as a locked-in RB1 because he is still a great talent and he is still getting a big workload. But I mean, the pass catching work is pretty concerning right now. So that covers most of the Giants. Daniel Jones, I mean, like I was saying, like he is that guy. Like he's a very, very, very solid streamer if he's in a good matchup. And I mean, 2 QB super flex, like plug him in. He's gonna have 20-30 rushing yards, maybe a touchdown. He's gonna throw deep. He's gonna like make mistakes, but you're not penalized for that in fantasy as much as you should be. So, Daniel Jones, great streamer. If you need him. Moving on to the Washington football team, who wins on a last second field goal after Dustin Hopkins shanked it, and then there was a penalty, and it was a whole thing. Great game if you didn't see it, but they win. Heineke gets his first win. Heineke looked very good. I'm not concerned about Terry McLaurin anymore. I mean, like, I believe here. Let's look actually. He had 14. Yeah, he had 14 targets. He goes for over 100 yards, a touchdown, 11 catches, almost 30 PPR points. I mean, he was a stud. He was just a stud. He was beating James Bradbury. He could have had another catch if he didn't get picked on that last play where it was INT. He kind of got like rubbed off, and it was rough. But I mean, like McLaurin, he's great. He's going to be a high-end wide receiver too going forward. I mean, maybe even no wide receiver one, because like with no Curtis Samuel, who are they throwing to? He's a must-start. Start. I mean, if you didn't start him this week, I don't know what you're doing. Heineke is looking for him even more than Fitzpatrick was. I mean, like, I'm not saying he's like going to be an upgrade, because I mean the ceiling is theoretically lower without Fitzpatrick. But I'm not worried about Terry at all. The one thing though, this is pretty disastrous for Antonio Gibson. So Gibson today, he doesn't have a bad game. I mean, he puts up 9 points. I mean, definitely like not desirable. But I was gonna make Gibson a buy low. I'm recording a buy low like right after this, a buy low episode, or like trade targets, and I was gonna make Gibson a buy low because last week J.D. McKissic did not see the field at all. I mean, 0 targets. He was a non-factor in the scorecard, and so at that point it's like, okay, Gibson, not only is he a dynamic rusher, but he's a 3-down back with all this talent, all this speed. He's top 8 rest of the way, right? Wrong, because today we saw McKissic, and we saw him a lot, and we saw him do big things. We saw him in the 2-minute drill, not only at halftime. Here, actually, I have notes specifically from that. We saw him in the 2-minute drill at halftime, and in the red zone. There was multiple stoppages of play where Gibson could have came in inside the 5-yard line in the 2-minute drill, but McKissic stayed there. That is just disastrous, because if you thought that Gibson was a workhorse, which after last week I thought he was. I thought he was a 3-down workhorse. 2-minute drill, maybe he would split, but like goal line, it was his thing, right? But McKissic did not leave the field. Did not leave the field at all, and he obviously gets the short goal line touchdown in the 2-minute drill. McKissic was just killing it as a pass blocker. There was a play where I don't know who it was, but it was a blitz, and obviously like the line split, and a linebacker like came through. McKissic just like chop blocked him right there, gave Heineke time to throw, and it was beautiful. Gibson isn't exactly an incredible pass blocker. I mean, McKissic, the coaching staff trust him for that, so it's rough. It's rough if you're a Gibson owner. To me, he goes from a locked no to top 8 a weekly start last week, given his usage, to now like a fringe top 15. I mean, not fringe, but like RB 13 to 15 now, because like this is not a great offense. He's not getting the 2-minute drill work, even on the goal line. He's a 3-down back to a degree, but he's not getting these really desirable scenarios, these check downs in close games, and the offense ceiling is lowered because of no Fitzpatrick. And then furthermore on Gibson, there was, I think this was at half. Yeah. So this was no, what is this? This was at the end of the game, right? So it was that like Ricky Seals-Jones like toe tap, beautiful throw by Heineke. It was just fucking incredible. But on that play, he's getting pressured, right? He's getting pressured. He looks right at Gibson. He's wide open. He has probably 10 yards of space. Doesn't throw it to him. Looks straight at Ricky Seals-Jones, throws it, and scores. And Gibson was just right there open. Heineke wasn't looking for Gibson there. I mean, he looked at him, didn't throw it. It's just going to be hard for Gibson to get this elite ceiling that we dreamt of. If he's not getting check downs from Heineke, if he's not in the 2-minute drill, if he's not getting goal line work in the 2-minute drill, it's just going to be hard for him. This is a pretty disastrous game for him. As for Heineke, I think he's streamable. I'm not advocating him over any like weekday starters, but I mean, him and Daniel Jones are both streamable. They both have mobility. I mean, Heineke probably to a lesser degree, but I mean, he proved that he's competent for 3-4 games now. He has weapons, and once Curtis Samuel gets back, he'll have more weapons to work with. So I mean, that covers Terry, covers Heineke, covers Gibson, covers the Giants. McKissick, I still don't have interest in. Bro, he was just awesome this game. I mean, he comes in and gets the touchdown in the 2-minute drill. He comes in and has that like 40-yard wheeler route. Just, I mean, incredible. He was getting targeted. Let's see what he had actually. I think he had like 4 or 5 targets at least, bare minimum. This is like legit like right after the game, so I don't have the numbers in front of me. McKissick. Here we go. 6 targets, 5 catches, 83 yards, and the touchdown on the ground. I mean, that's just a great game. I don't have interest in McKissick and redraft because that is a very niche role. But he's just a pain in the ass for Gibson owners, and this is pretty disastrous overall for Gibson owners. So if I'm a Gibson owner, I mean you kind of have to hold right. I mean, that's his second sub 10-point outing back to back. There are better days ahead, but I mean, his ceiling is ultimately capped if we're going to see another year of J.D. McKissick getting some valuable touches in an offense that is less than stellar. So that's my thoughts for the game. I hope you had a good day, and listen to his album and kiss your mom or something.